Hi guys, welcome back to tvOS training. This is Swift 5 Fundamentals for Beginners and this is part 6 which is on arrays. So let's dive in and have a look at arrays. So array is a collection of objects, so you combine the same data types that we went over before into a single variable. So here's my example of an array, which is, let's say, class members, for example. So this is an array of 6 different strings. And they're just very handy for storing large collections of variables and be able to enumerate through that list. So it's sort of imagine like an ordered list of objects. We can count the objects in the array like so. So this print method here will get the count of the class members and print it. So let's go through that. So as we can see here, there's six strings in this array here called class members. So yeah, I mean, like other data types, this can be a var or a let, so a variable or a constant. So with a variable that we've done here, we can manipulate the values, and with a constant, obviously the array is fixed, so you cannot manipulate it unless you convert it to a variable. So for example, I can add myself here as a teacher to this variable teacher, which is another string value. And what I'm going to do is append to add on the string, which is called the variable here called teacher, to the class members, which will then add me into the array from there. So now that there's another member, we can do the count again and we can confirm, see if someone's been added to the group. So we had 6 there, so let's run it again and see what we get. So here we can see that there is now 7 objects in the class members array. And because it's a variable array, we can also remove objects from it. So I've appended myself here, and I can also remove the last object, which is here. So this method here called remove last will just simply take out the last object that has been added to the array. So you can see, as was the last object added there, that has now been removed. And we can print the count again, and again we have 6 members because we added 1 and we took it away again. So again, as we spoke earlier, counting in an array, or counting any sort of object in a collection in Swift or most programming languages, you start from 0. So in ordered indexing for this array here, we'd have object 0, object 1, object 2, object 3, object 4, and object 5. So because we know which order they're in, we can have a look and see, we can grab sort of certain elements from the array by referencing it like so. So this one here, class members 3, comes out as James. So we can see here we've got object 0, object 1, object 2, object 3, which is James, so that's correct. And we can see the first member of the array, in which case that's Phoebe, so that's object 0. And then if we try an object outside of the array, so this one here will say, this will grab actually the 11th member of the array. So if we try and run that, it will give an error because basically the array only goes up to object 5, so anything over that will give an array an out of index error, basically, which means that you're trying to get an object that doesn't exist, which is what this error says here, which is not so clear, but that's what it means. So you can also insert objects at a certain index of the array. So for example, if I wanted to insert this string here, Sam, at object 0, that would then create a new array with the object Sam at the beginning. So we can see here from this snippet that it's put Sam as the first object in the array. And you can also remove objects at a custom index as well. It doesn't have to be first or last. You can remove objects at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on the account of the elements in the array. So this one here, I'm going to remove the first object again, where we inserted it at index 0. Removed from index 0, we can see that Sam has now been removed from the array. And you can also use the contains function here, which will check if there's an object in your array. So you can use this here. This is class members dot contains, and then you've got the brackets which open and close, and we put the object Phoebe in here. So if it's there, we can print here. So this does, if the object contains it, it's going to call this bit of code here between these 2 curly brackets. And if it's not, if the object is not there, then it will print this area here. So if we run that again, we can see that the class members array contains the object Phoebe, which I think was an object 0. Yep, the first one in class members. So we can say that is now here. So declaring an array, you can basically declare an array like I've done here. So you can already initiate the objects that you want in the array. But say, for example, you wanted to create an empty array that you could add objects to, you can do that like so. So you have to declare basically what type of array it's going to be. So you can have a string array, a double array, an int array, or an array of booleans. But if you want to initiate an empty one, you need to tell it what data type it's going to be, basically. Whereas with this one up here, I've already added in 6 strings, so it's already assumed that it's going to be a string array. And that's it on arrays. So thank you very much for tuning in. And next time we'll be talking about data sets. Thank you. Bye.